And after you leave a like, remember to smash the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my channel as yet. And remember to hit the notification bell so every time I post a video, you can know right away. Subscribe, 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 subscribe. What's up, my YouTube friends, viewers, subscribers, everybody? Welcome back to another Banker Motivational video. Let's get it. You can't save everyone, and stop trying to save everyone. Let me give you a prime example before I jump into this video. If you see somebody drowning and you can't swim, you don't possess the ability to save that person. If you try to go help them, you're going to drown with them. And if you see somebody drowning and you can swim, just from that person moving up and down frequently, if that person don't stop for once and think, they're going to drown themselves and they're going to drown you with them. So stop trying to save everyone, because most times we see people in some situations and we can't help ourselves but to help them. Sometimes I'm like that too, but it's better to let that person figure out whatever they're doing, because everybody know what they're doing and everybody is fully aware of their situation that they're in. People like me, if I go and try to help, they're going to affect what I'm doing. Sometimes you don't need people's problem and nonsense on you. So I would recommend stop trying to save somebody. There's a difference from you trying to save them and you trying to help. And like I always say, helping somebody, you have to be doing like 50%. That's helping. So sometimes you see somebody in a situation where it's like they sit down in the situation, and most of whether friends or family or somebody you're close with, and you can't help yourself but to try to go save them, bro. That's one of the worst things you could do. And like I say, if you can't swim, they're going to drown you. Because some people sit down in situations and they refuse to better themselves. Like, they know what's going on. They're fully aware of the situation that they're in. But why don't they want to take themselves out of it? Maybe they're waiting on somebody to come save them just so they can drag them down with them. That's something I can't answer. I don't know. But I'm saying this. Stop trying to save everyone. Like, literally, you can't save everyone. People need to save themselves. You can't save somebody who doesn't want to be saved. And you can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped. Because some people, they just rather sit down and bring themselves all different type of ways and sit down within the same spot. They literally don't care about where they are or where they're even going, if they're going anywhere. So in reality, you can't save everyone, because all you're doing is using your brain cells and all your energy and effort, and you're trying to pour into this person that's not trying to go nowhere. At the end of the day, you're going to be even more drained than them, because you're trying to help this person and this person doesn't want to be helped. So what you think is going to happen to you? You're going to feel more burnt out. How much times have you stopped to try to help somebody or trying to save somebody from a situation because you know you have the ability? And trust me, I know that feeling, because I'm like that sometimes too. Sort of depending. I'm sort of learning how to not get involved. But how much times have you see somebody in a situation and you're fully aware that you can help them, and then you try to help them, and then it's like they're sinking and it's like they're dragging you down with them. All that unnecessary load, you don't need it. So I would strongly recommend stop trying to save everyone, because you can't. People that don't want to be saved, you can't save them. You're only hurting yourself at the end of the day, and you're only going to affect yourself, because you're going to be drained every day to the point where you can't even focus on yourself, because them, you have to pour everything that comes with you as a person, you have to pour it in them, and then you end up can't move forward. So stop trying to save everyone, because you're literally affecting yourself and your own growth. All that time and effort that you could have spent in bettering yourself and find different ways to push yourself forward, you now have to invest that into this person that you're trying to save. And they're not trying to be saved. Like, don't get me wrong, there'll be some people that want to be saved, that they need help, because you got those type of people. That you got two people. One that's like self-motivated, where they can do everything themselves, and then you got the other one that you have to be holding them and pulling them and push them all over the place just so they can better themselves. Because like I just said, you got two people. One, the one that want everything, that stay hungry, and then you got the other one that they don't really need much. At this point in your life, you should notice this. Not everybody needs more. Some people need like bare minimum. They don't need everything, but like me, no, I need everything. So stop trying to save people. Like all you're doing is you're wasting your time, your energy, your effort. You're draining yourself, everything that comes with you as a person. As I said before, you're investing everything from you in them, and this person is going nowhere. If they don't want to go nowhere, you can't force them. If they don't want to make the step forward, you can't do it for them. And most times people fight battles within themselves. You can't fight that battle for them. So if you see somebody going through something and they want to be left alone, it's better to let that person alone. It makes no sense for you to get up and be like, "Oh, what's wrong to me?" No, 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 no. Some people that are like smart enough, when they're fighting battles within themselves or they have a problem, they isolate themselves. I'm that type of person because if I got a problem or I'm trying to figure something out, I sort of withdraw myself from like people so I don't blast out on them, if that makes sense. And then you got the other set of people that's like when they got problems, they don't want to be alone. They want to be around everybody because they're looking for somebody to take it out on. So if you're trying to help save somebody like that, you can't. You can't. The hardest battle fought is within yourself. That's the hardest battle fought because you don't want to lose, yet you can't win against yourself. That's why when you see people fighting battles within themselves, it takes them months, years, because they don't want to lose. But it's yourself, if that makes sense. So if you see somebody fighting a battle within themselves, I would strongly recommend do not get involved because that person is going to blast out on you. And then you're going to look within yourself and then you're going to say, I don't have nothing to do with this, but why are you taking your problem out on me? How much times have you do that to somebody? You see somebody with like a straight face or they have issues, some problems, and then you go trying to help. And then in return, that's what they do. That's where that's coming from because they don't want you involved. It has nothing to do with you. That's why they're like that. So if you didn't know then, you know now. You can't save them. You can't save them. So stop trying to save them. I'm literally telling you. Because me, I'm the type of guy. If I see somebody like, not saying with a straight face, but if they seems to me like they're fighting a battle within themselves or fighting a battle about something that have nothing to do with me, I sort of withdraw myself because I know they need time to figure it out. And stuff like that takes time. Like you can, this is why most times you see a person stuck in the same spot for a year or two. They can't move forward because they're still fighting the same battle. You can't save them. Trust me. There's nothing you can do to save a person, especially if that person doesn't want to be saved. If they want to be saved and you're trying to help them to be saved, they have to do that themselves because you can't do it. The only thing you can truly do for a person is like give them information or share something with them or give them joy. You can't do it for them. So let's say a person lose their job and they're about to lose their car, they're about to lose everything. And then you go trying to see if you can save them. That person is going to want some money from you because money is their problem. And then you're going to be like, I'm not going to give you my money. At that point, you can no longer help them. If that makes sense. So I would strongly recommend if you see a person fighting a battle within themselves, withdraw yourself for a bit and sort of look at it. I'm not saying remove yourself. There's a difference between removing yourself and withdrawing yourself. Withdrawing yourself would be like taking a couple steps backwards and observe them. And removing yourself would be like looking completely somewhere else. That's the definition of removing yourself. So you can't save everyone, man. Like no matter how hard you try, you can't save them if they don't want to be saved. You can't help them if they don't want to be helped. That's just the world we live in. So I strongly recommend stop trying to save everyone. You're only affecting yourself. Let's say you're trying to do something with yourself. You're trying to start a career or you're trying to do something, right? And then there's this person that don't want to be saved. You're going to try to help that person. You're going to have to stop what you're doing. And especially if you're already starting and you're moving forward, you're now going to have to focus on them. Because you're going to say to yourself, oh, I think I can help this person, so I want to help this person. It will be the same as if you see somebody, a homeless person at the intersection, and you got like $5 on you, and then you see them, and then you're like, you know what? I got $5. Let me give them $5. You see them, you want to help. So you're trying to help. But what if that person you give that $5, what if they didn't go buy something to eat? They go buy something to smoke. And then you see them, you're gonna feel bad within yourself because you gave them that $5 with the intention for them to go get something to eat because you think they're starving. Now, when they took that money from you, they go straight down to the liquor store or they go buy something and then boom, they're high again and they're all messed up again. That's why in this generation, people, instead of giving a homeless person money, they rather go buy the food and give it to them. Because people are now starting to realize that homeless people, all they do is stand up, beg money, take it, and go buy drugs. That's just how it is. So you can't really say, no matter how hard you try, you can't really save everyone. And like I say, if they don't want to be saved, it's pointless. It is pointless because you're going to be drained. You can't do it. I know sometimes you want to help because like I say, me, if you're a helpful person and you have the ability to help somebody, there's nothing wrong with that. But that person have to really want to help themselves. Because you can't truly take a person out of a situation if that person doesn't want to come out of that situation. So it doesn't really matter how bad it is. If they themselves don't want to move or they themselves don't want to better their life, they don't want to get up and do something with their life and you're looking at them every day. Like, how come you living like this? You don't think they know how they're living? They know exactly how they're living. They're fully aware of what's going on. But the difference is, from our perspective, we get up every day and we're like, you know what? I want something. I'm trying to get something. I'm trying to do something with my life. And then you walk past them every day and you look at them and you're like, why are you living your life like that? They know how they're living their life. They just don't care. So if a person don't care about their own life, you think you have that right to care about somebody else's life? If a person rather sit down and be broken, be a waste of space, why you think you should get up and go help them? They don't care. They know. We live in a world where everybody know what they're doing. Even a 1-year-old baby know what they're doing. Even like kids know what they're doing before they can say something, before they can speak a full sentence. They are fully aware of what they're doing. So you don't think a grown person that's like out on the street, you don't think they know? You don't think they know that they're out on the street, homeless, no money? You think they don't know that? They know. They just don't care. But what about the backstory? Maybe their own parents kicked them out because they wanted nothing with themselves. So in reality, you can't save everyone. You may try to save a few, but you're going to have to put a lot of your time and effort. And most times you have to stop what you're doing to focus on them. Like, some people take a lot of time and some people take a lot of energy from you. I'm telling you. So the more time you spend trying to save people, you stop your own growth. So instead of trying to spend like how much time trying to save somebody, it's better you sit down and you spend all that time on yourself, because it's up to them. But the reason why people stop what they're doing to focus on somebody else, that's because they don't know that they will be affected. Because maybe they don't like seeing that person like that. Maybe every time they look at that person, they're like, oh, I can't stand looking at you like that. I want to help you. But that person don't want to be helped. So now you guys are arguing back and forth because you're trying to help them and they're sitting down arguing back with you because they don't want your help. They like it just the way how they are. If they're out on the street, sleeping on the street in homeless shelter, they like it just the way it is. So, like I say, you can't save everyone, especially if you see in relationships. If you go in a relationship and you see a guy or a girl that you're like, oh, you know, this person have this potential and I want to bring it out. You can't save everyone. Or friendships, because most times you can see somebody, especially in school, you see somebody and you're like, you know what? No one is ever talking to this person. Let me go see if I can cheer this person up. If that person is miserable at home, you're wasting your time trying to make that person laugh. And if you're trying to be somebody's friend and that person doesn't want friends, it will never work. It will never work. All you're doing is taking bits of yourself and trying to help them, and they refuse it. So if you're trying to help somebody, how are you going to help yourself? Because we can only focus on some stuff at a time. So if you're focusing on yourself, you can only put everything within yourself, invest in yourself. So if you're going to go invest in somewhere, okay, use the bank for an example. You're with Scotiabank, right? You get paid, you save all your money in Scotiabank. if you go take out another bank information that says CIBC, you're going to have to focus on two places at a time. And you know what's going to happen? It's going to have problems now because you used to be focusing on just one thing. And now you have to focus on two things. That's the same as if you have two credit cards. Wait, this is for finger. Two credit cards. If you got two credit cards, if it's easier to focus on one. Doesn't matter how much money you spend, but it's easier to focus on one credit card. But if you got two, you're spending way more. You're doing way more when it's more than one, because it's easier to focus on one thing at a time. That's why people pick only one career and stick with it throughout their whole life. So you want to become a doctor, teacher, lawyer, dentist, you pick one and you hold on to it and you focus on that. That way you can see the growth, because the moment you stop and then you go look the other way, it's going to affect you. That's why if you're running and you look left or look right or you look behind you, you're going to fall because you are no longer focused. Because we can only be focused for a extended period of time. So that's a good example. You're running, you're staying focused, you're at number one. The moment you look to see where everyone is, that's the moment you would fall, because you're no longer focused. So with that being said, you can't truly save somebody if somebody don't want to be saved, and you're going to be affected. So you're running, minding your own business, fully focused on the goal. One goal, fully focused, running. You notice that you don't see nobody because you're first. So you don't see nobody next to you. So you keep running. Then you're like, what? I'm winning? The moment you look left, you look right, stumble, roll, everybody pass you. If that makes sense. Because you were focusing on yourself. You were focusing on the main goal. Getting to the finish line. And the moment you got distracted, it's over. So that's the same as when you're focusing on yourself and you're trying to save somebody else. That's the same thing. You're trying to save somebody, you're going to stumble. Because you can't, if you're running and you fall, you can't fall and run at the same time. It's either you're going to keep running or you're going to fall. And in the middle, it's like trying to balance yourself so you don't fall. So you got three options, but you can't do it all. So all that time you take trying to save somebody, like I say, if they don't want to be saved, there's absolutely nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing. Some people rather be miserable. I'm literally telling you. Some people, they just rather live less, and I don't know how people can live like that. Like most times I always ask, when I see people like that, I always ask myself, like, it's so sad looking at them, and I used to wonder, how do they live like that? But they are fully aware of their situation. They know. They know. Trust me. If you see somebody that's unemployed, always, oh, I don't have no money, I don't have this. They are fully aware that they don't got a job. That's why they're begging. Everyone is fully aware of their situation. They know what the problem is. But most times, they're their own problem, so they just rather beat it themselves. Now, you, being a superhero, trying to go save everybody, then there's a problem. And then you are going to feel like you're the bad guy, because they're going to make it look as if they don't need your help. If that makes sense. So you can't really save everyone. Can't really save everyone. Let's go back to the beginning of the video when I say if someone is drowning. So someone is at the deep end, maybe in a pool or somewhere, drowning. How are you going to get to them? You can't swim. Remember, you can't. So how are you going to get to them? And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to be like, number one, I can't swim. Number two, they're way too far. Number three, I don't really know if I can do this. Number four, this looks like a suicide. So you have all that in your head. But if you can swim, you're going to be like, number one, how long is it going to take me to get to them? Number two, is that really deep? Number three, can I really save that person? Especially if you're not a lifeguard, you've never done it before. And that person, the moment you go trying to hold them, they're going to start pushing you down. That's just how it is. So you can't save everybody. Some people, they don't want to be saved. So if that person is out there drowning, what if that person try to do that to themselves? And then you, superhero, trying to go save that person from drowning. What if they did it to themselves? Not saying they would. Well, I'm not sure, because we live in a crazy world, because I would never do something like that to myself. But what if that person did that to themselves, and then you're like, oh, I'm coming. Then you went all the way out there, and then you're trying to go help them to bring them back, and they're splashing all over the place and pushing you down. That's just how it is. We live in reality. I don't know if a lot of people notice this, but we don't live in no fantasy world where you can literally go to bed and wake up and everything's back to normal. So no matter how much problem you have, you go to bed, you wake up, the problem is still there. But in this world, I think people think, oh, all I have to do is go to bed or smoke something or drink something, and then boom, I'm okay. All you're doing is numbing your feelings for a couple of minutes. Then boom, you're right back to square one. That's just how it is. That's why a lot of people drink for problems. Like me, I drink, but social drinker. Because I'm more stronger than my problems. And I may save this for another video. So, not going to talk too much on that. So, you can't save everyone. And if you really try to save somebody that doesn't want to be saved, they will affect you. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're aiming for, it will feel like it's too much for you. How much time have you trying to help somebody do something, and you really sit down and you look deep within yourself and you're like, oh yeah, this is way too much for me. This is way too much that I can handle. I don't even put that much effort into myself. And you know yourself. And you're like, you know what? I can do everything for myself as quickly as possible. It only takes me maybe 5 or 10 minutes for me to do this all by myself. But just from somebody's there, it's even harder. And you have to stop for a moment and be like, wait, do I really need this? Like, you can't save everyone. Trust me, you can't. You can't. Like, and some people have a really good heart where they can't see somebody struggling. But it's better to let that person struggle, because that person know that they're struggling. They know. But what can you do? All you're doing is going to be affected by whatever they did to themselves. That's just how it is. I used to be that type of guy, especially in school. When I was younger, I used to be that type of guy where everybody always want to talk to me. But I used to be the type of guy where if I see like one person, like no one is talking to that person, I'm always driven towards that person. Because I know how it feels like for everybody to want to talk to you, everybody want to be your friend. I know how that feels. So I don't know why. I never really thought about it, but that's just how I always feel. Because there's always that one kid where nobody talk to. They eat lunch by themselves. You know, I used to go to them and like talk or try to be friends with those type of people. I don't know why, but yeah, that's just how it is. You can't save everyone. Like literally, you can't. No matter how much you try, no matter how much energy you put in, no matter how much effort you're putting, no matter what you try to do, you can't save a person if that person doesn't want to be saved. So if you didn't know then, you know now. If a person is in like a really bad situation and that person is not willing to pull themselves out of that situation, you truly can't help. That's like, I'm trying to find a good example. That's like a person, not say in a pool, and that's like a person falling off a roof or a cliff or something, right? And you're trying to hold them. And that person is like, you know, they don't really care. They put their weight on you. And then even most times they're trying to hold on to your hand. They're trying to pull you down with them. Like some people literally thinks, oh, if I'm going down, I'm taking down everyone with me. That's just how they think. So that's the same, a person falling off and you're trying to hold them. They hold your hand and then all of a sudden you feel like they're pulling you down. They are pulling you down. How much times have you trying to help somebody? And then you feel like it's way too much that you can handle. Like you literally have to sit down and look within yourself and you're like, you know what? I think this person is trying to pull me down with them. Sometimes you got to listen to that gut feeling you get in your stomach where when you're trying to do something and you feel uneasy, sometimes it's best to listen to that. Because that's a spiritual connection. It's trying to tell you, nope, don't do that. That's why you got nervous and anxiety. Because you shouldn't be doing it. In your brain, you may think, oh, it's right to help this person. But when you get that feeling, that's a sensation saying, you know what? No. Go back. This ain't for you. That's why you get that nervous and anxiety feeling. That's just how it is. So, you can't save everyone. Stop trying to save everyone. Because you can't. So I hope this message was useful for some of you guys. For some of you guys that have good heart, I think I make this video for people with good heart that always trying to reach out to people, always trying to help somebody grow, always trying to take people out of situations. This video is made specially for you. If you're trying to save somebody and they don't want to be saved, only you will be affected because they're going to pull you down with them. Because let me say it again, they are fully aware of their situation. They know. You look at them and you can tell the situation that they're in, but they know. So if that person don't want to be saved, all they're going to do is pull you down with them. So the best thing you can do, you cut it off and you move on. That's just life. We live in reality where what you do today affect tomorrow. That's the world we live in. So I would tell you or advise you that if you sense that the person doesn't want to be saved, remove yourself. But if you got a good heart where you think they can be saved and you think they want to be saved, then give it a shot, because there's a difference. So I hope this message was useful for some of you guys. Thank you for watching. My voice sounds different throughout this whole video. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned. I will be back doing more stuff. You go enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out. And don't forget to follow me on social media. I post daily on them.